But I do like the adjustments that Bleed have made, especially that Death Prophet pick feels very cohesive for me.
I still think I'm going to be favoring Aurora.
Okay.
I just believe they're going to be able to hit this crazy timing where they're just going to start running down towers and running down heroes. You know, come, I don't even think 20, come 15 minutes, if these lanes go well enough for Aurora, they're going to start running you down.
Yeah, we will have to see. Aurora, they already did the... we already saw one team of Night Stalker absolutely obliterate their opponents by like, what, the 20-minute mark.
Yeah.
Look, I'm a Night Stalker fan. I wouldn't mind seeing it again, but at the same time, I'm kind of in the mood for something that's not a 2-0. That's just kind of been the flavor of a lot of these qualifiers so far. The teams just kind of keel over, especially in the early stages. I think
at least for us, I feel like we've seen pretty much only 2-0s.
Literally the only thing with Caster is 2-0 so far. I know that some other matches like the Bright, I can't remember which team they were facing up against, but there were 2-1s that exist, just not in our purview. So whether it's a curse on our side, sorry guys, you know, and I guess Aurora gonna win.
Oops.
Oopsie.
Yep.
That's
the observer prediction.
Okay. He thinks our observer is thinking it's going to be Aurora as well. We'll see whether he ends up being correct or not. Jabs walking up, trying to take advantage of that nighttime vision. Cutting through the tree line, taking a lot of damage. Jabs, it's not where you want to be. He's just going to go down. And it goes to Jackie as well. That is worst possible outcome for your Night Stalker level 1.
What a cool Sprout. That was such a good Sprout. I feel like a lot of people would be like, okay, you know, pop the Sprout, pop him in the middle of it. But no. Get him on the outside. He's got to cut 2 trees down. Yeah.
And even with Q's help, I think he used one of the tangos to try and fish Jabs out of there. It wasn't effective enough. It's any additional buffer that you can get in the first 5 minutes against a Night Stalker is so important. Because you know 5 to 10, he's just going to be all over you. So, you know, Jackie feeling a lot more comfortable with that. Just that much closer to the level 2, which is going to allow him to secure these range creeps without really needing to commit far forward.
I guess the one good thing is this Q gets levels into Scurry. Hello? Scurry, he doesn't really care. He doesn't really care about Sprout.
He's so scared.
Yeah, he just doesn't care about Sprout, and it's actually going to, I believe... Okay, I can't remember if you need to just cast Scurry to increase the cast range, or you need to be near trees to increase this cast range. No, it's just when activated.
Yeah,
okay, it's just when activated. Got it.
It's a really cool ability, actually. I think most people just know it about the, know about the moving through the tree lines and like the slight movement speed increase. But for those of you who aren't aware, she gets bonus move speed, attack, and cast range. So that's like if you're trying to engage from the tree line and potentially catch someone off guard from fog, you want to set yourself up like that.
Yep. Yeah, scurry first, then cast all your abilities.
You might not even see it coming. Who knows?
Yep.
Saros in this top side, that's one of the benefits of the Death Prophet, being able to damage both the real hero as well as the Spirit Bear at the same time. Ollie's going to be working overtime with those miscalls to keep both up to speed in terms of HP and healthy, as Masaros is just going to continue to spam those out.
This is such a good Orb of Corrosion game, though. Holy moly. You're Morphling, Death Prophet. It's so value getting Orb of Corrosion on the Bear this game.
Yeah. Hey, I mean, the Spirit Bear is going to be suffering a little bit, and he even has to resummon it out on the top side. Looks like they're trying to make the move onto Pelosa, inching a bit too far forward, trying to get the kill onto Q, and the level 2 Scurry actually catching him off guard there. So a bit of a misstep there from the Nature's Prophet, underestimating the potential of that hoodwink. That's a nice bit of change for Jabs.
And like you said, it goes both ways, right? Anything that Night Stalker can get during the daytime, very nice.
Okay, Morphling actually going down. Speaking of what Night Stalker gets, they are absolutely clobbering this bot side right now. Q is able to survive from that Blood Grenade, and Jabs is the big winner of all of this, just being able to stand in lane and continue the farm. This is starting to get a little worrying for the Bleed safe lane here.
Yeah, it's only another 2 minutes until this lane's really scary, and you're already playing scared. Because after that kill, you gotta recognize that they have kill potential on you now.
Yeah, I think for me, it additionally neuters the Nature's Prophet in a way, because Pelosa wants to be looking for opportunities to maybe TP topside, help Masaros, maybe even gank the mid lane and catch Armel off guard, deny some water runes, who knows, but He's very much tied to this bot side. If not,
Yeah.
Jackie's just gonna get run over.
I think that's kind of my thing with the 5 Nature's Prophet, is that you kind of are forced to play this role of the bodyguard, and it forces you to not be able to do the things you want to do for 5-7 minutes of the game. By 6, you're most likely ganking. By the 6-minute mark, you're most likely ganking. But it just forces you to play bodyguard for a little bit too long, in my opinion.
Yeah. We were worried a bit about Armel in this mid lane with the Magnus matchup, but it seems to be just fine for him for now. The Magnus does have a bit of a CS advantage, but that's kind of to be expected with the overwhelming amount of, I guess, auto attack damage that he gets from Empower.
Jabs quite literally running away with this lane.
Brings it back to a safer spot here, Pelosin. Actually opting, not much to be done in the lane, so he just starts farming the jungle, and honestly, I get it, right? Like, you don't want to be just sitting there, and you don't want to sap the Morphling's EXP. Yeah. That's the main problem, right? You need to make sure that come the next 25 seconds, he gets as much as he can before things start to go haywire. I wonder what the build is going to be. Yeah, I was thinking about it. What do you think the build is going to be for Masaros? Because I think historically, back when DP was super popular, we saw double Wraith ban into Greaves and then just become this Aurora bot. Is there any sort of real other option other than that? Like, I don't suppose you go Athos or stuff like
the
that.
Veil Shivas is possibility as well.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
I still wouldn't mind to see something like the Guardian Greaves, because if you got rooted by the Spirit Bear, you can just purge it off.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Amazing what you'll find.
So yeah, I don't hate it. The Greaves aren't too bad. It's going to be a nice steroid for the rest of your team as well. A good surviving flank. Maybe later. Yeah. Not quite yet. I think we're going to see the Veil of Discord first.
Yeah. Masaros still remains to be seen what he's building, but at least we know what the Lone Druid is going for. That immediate Diffusal Blade Rush. Not surprised there, as this has become a very standard build-up for the Lone Druid. The Disperser is such a useful item for the bear to just chase down opponents. Get them tied down.
I'm honestly surprised I haven't seen more Lone Druid with the Disperser buff. I'm very surprised Lone Druid has kind of flown under the radar recently.
Yeah, well, we see... Oh my goodness, Mikoto.
Jesus.
The
anxiety spiking every time it gets cancelled.
Dude, I swear that particular Magnus... Oh, Haste Rune. Stuck inside the trees, and we're going to be able to secure it for Mikoto. No, that's the deny. Rolling Thunder coming out. They want to get the kill onto Pelosin, but he's moving pretty quick. Mikoto skewing onto the high ground. Is still able to chop down the Pelosin Nature's Prophet. Nicely done by Mel to trace him out. Now DJ might be in some trouble as well. Let's try and route him here. Q up onto the high ground, slow with the Acorn shot. And with that shield crash, it should be a double. Nicely executed by the Aurora lineup.
What a weird gank from Aurora. I mean, it works out, but like,
yeah,
rotating of Baden, it's so funny to me. But you need it, right? That was a really good rotation from Aurora. Absolutely perfect. Just funny the way it worked out to me.
Yeah, I mean, more so than a rotation, he's kind of just hanging back to make sure that Armel doesn't die, right? Because you can see Mikoto and the Lion, they were gearing up for some sort of aggression. And as long as you come in with a Photic Shield, he's just got to be able to swashbuckle his way out of there. So, instant sort of nullifier on that RP. Working out some issues here as the 7-minute mark rolls around. Looks like it's just going to be a 1-for-1. Nothing too crazy there. So Death Prophet... Actually, not... Hang on. Am I tripping out here? Is she doing not so good on levels, or is it just me?
No, she's not doing too good on levels.
Yeah, right? Because, I mean, everybody else is level... Sure, everyone else is level 5. It's like a little bit. She's got to get the Wisdom Rune. She's got to get back up there anyway. But I would assume with how much space she's been given, in lieu of DJ largely rotating to the mid lane to help out Mikoto, you get a bit more EXP, but seems like 23 has been successful in forcing her out for the most part.
Yeah, it's hard to stand your ground against a Spirit Bear no matter what hero you are. Especially now with the Orb of Corrosion, your Spirit Siphon at early levels just aren't healing you nearly enough as you want it to.
Yeah. Reducing the heals and regeneration by 20%, it's a big, big margin. And the Lone Druid, I mean, he's kind of doubled up as well, which is pretty interesting. Like, he got the Orb of Corrosion, and then I guess he ports the initial Blightstone back to his main hero.
Hey, it works. Whatever gets the job done, right? If you can't get old school Orb of Corrosion, get old school Orb of Corrosion and a Blightstone. Why not?
Yeah, build it for yourself. If you want to reduce that armor, you got it. Just buy die.
It's like building a Wraith Band and a Bassi and hoping.
Yeah. Just somewhere in the code, they just forget or something. Silence out, stopping the Morph from coming through, but they can't continue this chase down. Isn't really any extended damage past that initial void and one shot. Jabs, it kind of feels like he needs that Dark Ascension to really try for this kill.
Yeah. I'd like to pose a question to you, Sneeze.
Let's hear it.
Do you think Polosin's gonna buy boots?
Radiant are scanning.
That is such an
It's literally
inconsequential
earned
question.
straight into Ags.
The answer is no. My answer is no. Like, why?
Okay.
Like, right? What does Boots do for him? Who even
Sure.
cares? Right?
Yeah.
Like, if he... I mean, if the Night Stalker sees him, he's gone anyway.
Yeah. No, it's very true. I just, yeah. We'll
Boots
see,
is
I
for-
guess. We'll
Boots
hedge
is
our
for
bets.
losers who... Boots is for losers who think they can actually run away from this Night Stalker, Pango, Spirit Bear lineup. Like, it's not... I don't know how to tell you this, homie. It's not happening. You need to stand and fight. That's your only
That's
option.
fair.
There
There we go. Just for this for Masaros.
Okay.
The question
Nice.
has been answered.
It's a good deal of armor, which nullifies
Yep.
quite a lot of what Aurora want to do, right? Even the Hoodwink, a lot of it in the Akon shot is physical. So, I mean, hell, Night Stalker's entire shtick is just punching you while flying at you, so... But now it's a very quiet early game, all things considered. I thought there'd be a bit more action and pressure. Pelosin trying for the TP out, but Jabs is just back here. Level 6, Amel tag teaming up with him. They kill off the Nature's Prophet, and now Jackie might be in some trouble. Doesn't have a level in the Morph, but Mikoto's here to play as well. TPing in, and that's what the Rolling Thunder is for. Amel is going to be able to spin his way out of this one. And they collapse on the DJ, who has TP'd in a very odd spot, away from the safety of his cores and his tower. And he gets picked off as well. The entire side of Aurora, they're making use of this beautiful nighttime vision to inform themselves of what moves they should make. And they get in, get out. Q's still around. They might try for the setup on Mikoto. Oh, this would be a huge kill. Swash. Slightly off the mark. A bit impatient from Amel here. Loses them out on that opportunity. But I think Mikoto, you know, he had vision all along. So, you know, he was never going to get caught like that.
He definitely had an inkling something was going to go on there.
Oh, RP. Use it straight on the Squirrel. Q has been so obnoxious, but Ollie here with the heal, scurry through the trees. Sprout for what, Pelosin? Can't even get that, and that's RP.
And the tip.
Nasty, nasty stuff.
That's not what you want, P. Now, I usually say, like, if this big cooldown ultimate, like RP, like Black Hole, Chronosphere, you get a single pick off with it, it's well worth it in the early game. It's not worth it to get these looking and waiting for these 5-man RPs, you know, it's just not worth it for you. But not even getting Q there is so devastating for your first RP. All of a sudden it's on cooldown for like 100 seconds, what do you do?
Look, I'm of the opinion that it's fine, just because I don't think the Magnus really wants to be in that position where he's getting more than one anyway. You know, he couldn't get that. The real kicker for me was that he spent all that time rotating to the bot side, standing around under the tower with Jackie, running back to the mid, and then they still decided to try and make that move instead of going back to farming. A lot of his efficiency is just gone now, and that's reflected in the network.
Yeah. And it's only gonna get worse. Right, like, this isn't, like we said, this isn't the easiest Magnus game. Like, you're under-farmed, you're in a little bit of trouble.
Masaro's actually committing the EXO in this top side. He was trying to get back a bit of an advantage, but here comes Amel with the Rolling Thunder. They got their eyes on Jackie, and he has no mana, he has no friends, and they all just leave him to die. Masaros can do nothing but watch as his Morphling melts into a puddle of blood. Aurora, beautiful defense there, and it still looks like they're hunting. Jabs is just gonna come down here, kill off Pelosin on the Nature's Prophet, and there's nothing he can do about it. Aurora just dominating right now, 9-1 and 4k gold lead.
Does Jabs feel like a maelstrom? Is that what I'm seeing?
Oh my god, what? No. You're joking. What? No, this has to be a Midas.
What's with the javelin? No, he's got a mithril hammer too, dude.
Oh, classic Jabs, classic Jabs, classic
There it
Jabs.
is,
He's like,
there it is.
Dude, what am I watching? He's like, I need to farm, guys. I'm top net worth. None of you are gonna take that away from me, you scumbags. Amel, go make space for me, please.
Yeah. 23, go make space. You've got your diffusal blade. Go out.
Yeah,
Fun,
what
dude.
You know, I think Amel at one point in time used to be one of the most razor sharp lethal laners, right? He would come out in the lane with a huge advantage, just school everybody else. But I feel like maybe it's his time on Seeker, or maybe it's his time on Fnatic as well. He sort of adopted this new sort of more sacrificial playstyle, and it's reflected in the draft, right? He first picks his hero. He doesn't really care so much about his own scaling. He still obviously will try and get farm, but his priority is making moves on the map happen, and it's serving his team very well, especially when you have such a greedy offlaner like Jabs.
Yeah, confidence goes a long way in Dota, right? And just being able to be confident enough to first pick a hero like Pangolier, who has his counters, but still has the possibility of, like, right now Grimstroke isn't too big in the meta. I'm trying to, like, Wyverns, we see a little bit of play, but a lot of these heroes that used to, you know, be the end-all, be-all counters to Pangolier, like Rolling Thunder does nothing, Swashbuckle for what?
Yeah.
Just aren't really in the meta anymore.
Yeah. I mean, when's the last time we saw a Beast Control, right? That was usually the, okay, you know, you're Rolling Thunder, I'm just going to roll you in place and you look like a silly little basketball that just got forgotten by a bunch of school kids. That's not really the case anymore, as now they're going to bring down 23 to finish up tier 1, still standing at this juncture in time. And Jab's not really the best tower pusher, right? But he can kill anyone who shows up. But the objective is a different story. And it feels like Aurora, they're just slowly taking over these areas on the map. Can't help but feel like they're going to turn their sights towards the mid lane tower soon.
Okay, hear me out about this Maelstrom, right?
Yeah, I'm
Timing's
listening.
actually kind of sick, because you get it during the daytime, which means your farming speed is increased.
You come on, you're joking. I mean, literally. Okay, I understand because it does more damage, but I just thought, you know, like, why not just get a Midas, get more net worth?
No,
as
for
well.
sure.
I guess in his eyes the Maelstrom is more active, and it's pretty cool, not gonna lie, and that allows him to actually start farming Ancients, which he's gonna actually just TP to the top side, try and deal with Pelosin up here. Yeah, I mean, he knows. Set a ward down and everything. Keep hopping that guy. Dude, Jabs has something against this guy, for real. Like, yeah. This is, I mean, Pelosin's doing really, having a really rough game, right? 0-5 and 1. But most of those has been just Jabs hunting him down just for shits and giggles.
Yeah. I mean, Nature's Prophet it's such a hard hero to play into Night Stalker, right? I would say it's borderline impossible, because
you're gonna die.
You want to play on these outskirts of the fights. Sorry, I have the best vision in the game, right?
Dude, it's almost like he's mad about that first blood where he got sprouted so embarrassingly, and he's just kind of taking it out. That's kind of what it feels like to me. Both diffusal blades completed on the Aurora safe laner and mid laner. Also feels like they're ready to go, but they've been sort of farming up on their own as well. Vlad's complete for the Morphling, which we didn't mention just yet, as well as the Magnus having that Blink Dagger already. Should be able to set some stuff up. RP available. It's only a matter of time before DJ and him smoke up to try and get something done. Looks like they were trying to aggress on the top side now. On mid lane instead, Amel in some trouble. Easy finger of death. They make that look simple. Koto not even needed.
But they're converging on this mid lane, and Aurora, they're still willing to do something.
Looking to punch out onto Jackie. It's mid back. It's pulled up, and they're doing quite a bit of damage to it. Where is the rest of Aurora right now? They're making the true form. Oh, you gotta... Jabs doesn't really have the Dark Ascension, so navigating this fight is not as simple. And yeah, they'll just give up on it here. Oh no! No, what? Did he manage to get the Morph off? Doesn't look like it, but not enough damage for now. Hoodwing Sharpshooter is gonna go wide as Jackie, able to stand his ground. Thanks for that safety bubble.
And it looks like we are going to see the Rod of Atos Mage Slayer build out from Hoodwink. So multiple Mage Slayers are going to be coming online from Aurora now as well. Obviously, Pango's going to be building one this time too. And then Hoodwink as well. And that's quite a bit of the early game damage from Bleed, right? Morphling, he's not really going to be joining too many of these fights. If he can, he will.
Dude,
but he's not feeling too confident with just the Vladimirs.
The main annoying thing is that it's not just magic resistance or reducing magic damage from spells. It is 40% spell damage. Can you imagine cutting 40% of each of DP's ghosts? That is gonna feel so sad for her. She's barely gonna tickle the tower. At that point, you might as well just build a Maelstrom and start auto-attacking it on that hero instead. I don't know, like the way that Aurora are shaping up, they are starting to become real threats that can't really be dealt with by the Bleed lineup. They don't have the tools on their supports. Their cores are about to get countered with stuff like, you know, these mage slayers, and I didn't see a spirit vessel anywhere, but even the orb of corrosion on the bear, like you mentioned, is reducing some of that healing. It's gonna be so tricky for them to deal with. Pelosan found yet again Q. He's gonna wind up there. Dude, why is Jabs TPing in just to get this kill?
What? You know why. You know why.
And he's gonna watch him. He's gonna taunt or something too. This guy is a menace actually. Let's go. I don't understand. Like he actually has something against Pelosan.
No, it is a personal vendetta for sure.
This is personal. Like, you know, we were talking about how there's love across different players. Like Mikoto, I'm sure he's happy. I'm sure he sort of still has care for his former teammates. But like Jabs and Pelosan, there's something going on there. I don't know what it is, but
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Mikoto spotted out, managing to skewer and right away into the smoke. I believe that was spotted as well. So Aurora, they're gonna play a little bit more hesitantly here. Now the meta is almost complete on Jackie, so that presents a nice little dispel that might allow him to maneuver the fight a little bit better, but I just don't know if it's enough damage.
I like the smoke gang from Aurora a lot more than I like this gang from Bleed.
Q gonna start fishing with that Atos. As soon as he spots someone to ping, he knows. Scurry forward, looking for that cast range. The silence is not gonna stop the Atos. As they managed to interrupt Masaros as well. Beautiful double swashbuckle from Amel as the Hoodwink controls one. The Prophet able to finally TP out though. Q turned his attention towards the Prophet instead. Oh sorry, the Death Prophet, need to be specific, both of them are Prophets.
Yeah, that's true.
My bad, everyone.
Oops.
Oops. Advantage continued. Jackie being spotted, desperately trying to run away, but Jabs, he's right on your heels. DJ will buy a little bit of space, but Amel, take a look at him just rolling forward. No mercy shown as Jackie desperately trying to juke and weave. Manages to dodge the Q hoodwing bushwhack somehow, but a very ambitious TP on the high ground. He should know that he's there. No one is really around to help him out. Rooted up and killed off. 23 will secure that one. And they'll just head straight into the mid lane to try and find more. Dark Ascension has been popped after all.
Oh, not again, Jabs.
Bye-bye. Okay, well, yeah, that's something, you know, I mean, small wins, which is all you're getting at this point.
I mean, that's just going to anger Jabs more, though. I feel like that was, you should have just let him have the kill.
Actually, that might work out in their favor because now Jabs dives tier 3s and dies because he's trying to get
okay.
Right?
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Jabs
feels very Jabs to do that though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like Jabs is the type of player. Jabs is the type of player to win a game with off lane anti-mage pick and then proceed to pick that 5 games in a row just because he thinks it's good now. Okay, for context, this is not Jabs' claim. I love the guy, you know. I think he's one of the best players in Southeast Asia, period, and has been for a long time. And he's clearly showing that, still bringing innovation to the table. I don't know whether you call it jank because it's worked out quite well for him in terms of his net worth with the Maelstrom.
He's fallen a little bit, but I think that's just more of how fast Pango and Lone Druid can farm. Yeah. Less so. And to be fair, he's keeping up quite well, right? Only like a 300 gold difference between him and the Lone Druid.
I mean, he's ahead of the Morphling. That's all that matters.
Yes, that's what matters most.
Somehow Aurora have still preserved this mid tower. Should die to this second shot of the siege creep if it's connected. But nope. They are looking. Mikoto waiting for someone to show in the mid lane, but Amel sneaking away under the cover of that Invis rune will just return to safety to farm, blocking his own hard camp. All the day's work.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Wisdom rune.
Dire's middle
over
tower
to 23? Question mark? Yep.
Yeah.
Nope. Yep. 15. Pretty good talent for the Lone Druid. 15 talent. Savage Roar cooldown. Not too bad.
Look, I don't... Okay, so this is something I know is gonna be like a pointless argument, but I'm just gonna walk down this track anyway. You know what's always weird to me? Like, spells like the Savage Roar, are you suggesting to me that if he doesn't level that up, and if that's on cooldown, he just can't make... like, he's mute? Like the bear's not gonna be able to... Like, he opens his mouth and out comes a squeak instead? Like... You know what I mean? Like, I always found that... Okay, you know what? We don't have to go there. I just...
If you don't level Savage Roar, can the bear not roar?
Yeah, that's what I'm
Is
saying.
that-
Like, no,
is
I'm
that
saying
the
if it's on.
question?
The question is if it's on cooldown, so you're telling me the bear is just mute during that period of time.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Right? Like you're telling me he can't roar anymore? Like just because it's on
Yeah.
cooldown? Because he roared once, he's now on raw timeout for like 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Be for real right now.
only one spooky roar per 7 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not getting slapped. But okay. Speaking of getting slapped, Roche, very easy take for the side of Aurora. It only felt like a matter of time, to be honest.
Yeah.
I wonder who's gonna take it though, because I don't know whether 23 is necessarily the best Aegis carrier, but it seems like they'll just default it to him.
There was a world where Jabs took it, if I'm being honest.
That is the world that we both live in, actually, because I thought Jabs would be just kind of flying in and committing himself into very, very dangerous positions. But I kind of get this, right? Because you don't want to incentivize that behavior.
Yeah, that's true. No boots indeed for Pelosin. The Aghanim Scepter has been completed. Will he go back for the boots of speed? That's the main question.
Yeah, that's the big question of this game. Is Pelosin gonna get boots? The Aghanim's completion is kind of, I mean, good for him, right? He's at least gonna be able to have that utility in the fight. Could catch the rest of Aurora off guard and put them in a weird spot to get skewered back. And Ollie, I mean, he has his work cut out for him, right? He needs to make sure that his target prioritization in terms of who he's saving is on point.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And overall, it's been a very quiet game from Makoto as well. Like, I feel like this Magnus hasn't really shown up this game once again.
I mean, we were talking a bit about it in the draft. We're saying, okay, Bleed, this Magnus pick kind of shows that they're going to target something specific about execution or timing, but it hasn't really worked out for them. Aurora just kind of really flipped the script with what they brought to the table, and that's not something Bleed seemed to have considered or at least prepared well enough for. The last pick DP just wasn't quite as effective as they were hoping. I mean, even that first EXO push ended up with like 4 of their deaths.
Radiant's bottom
Yeah.
tower is under attack.
And that's, once again, right, like we talked about with these big cooldown ultimates, you need to get something out of it in the first one. You want to get at least one thing out of it. And, you know, whether it be a kill, a tower, right, a rotate, like an A5-man rotation, something. It's not a 4-man kill, like a 4-man death for your team. That's not it.
No. You're trying to get something positive, just to be
Yeah.
exact. Not a bait for your whole squad. Jabs running forward now. Shiva's immediate blink out, heads up from Jabs just to get out of there. He sees everything here. Now they do spot Q, who's scurrying away in the tree line, trying to get away with that sharpshooter, but Jackie will claim that kill. Jabs baiting Q a little bit here. I mean,
Yeah.
Q was like, yeah, I'll help you get that. And just gets left high and dry.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I mean, like, what do you do there, right? Not trust your core, like not back them up. I feel like that's a no-no.
Jabs will still go in though, take advantage of that vision and easily pick up the snatch onto DJ. Pelosin TP's in as well. They're actually exoing out onto Jabs. He doesn't have a BKB and he's gonna go down. Monster kill streak on that Night Stalker going the way of Jackie, and the RP straight onto the Pango as well. They can just walk him down. Amel, he's in a little bit of trouble now. Silenced up with the Swashbuckle out. Can he TP out of here? No. Stunned up. And in one fell swoop, Bleed, they get some high value pickoffs off of Jabs. Trying to go a little solo hero mission here.
Did we jinx Jabs, dude? Did we?
Look,
Did we up talk him too much?
jinxing Jabs is not real. He's a man of his own. Like he's fully self They're like he does it himself. Okay, that's not. We can't really blame him. Every other situation would be like, oh, caster's curse. No.
Jabs curse.
Yeah, Jabs curse himself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
and this time you're baiting your mid laner, and all this while you've got
Dire's
Aegis.
middle tower is under attack.
What have you accomplished with it?
well, okay, there is still some time on it. So 1.5 minutes. Maybe they can look towards one tier 2 tower. Just control back onto Ollie, caught out by himself. He has to pop that ultimate. Now 23 Savage is here and starting to punch away onto Mikoto as well, but I don't know whether he can fight into Jackie. He's looking very, very strong right now. Starting to punch away on your main hero. Even though it's a 2v5 situation, Bleed choose to show respect and back up.
I think there's respecting the cooldowns as well as the Aegis on the side of Aurora. Right? Jabs just got off respawn. So you don't know where Night Stalker is immediately. It's just safe to say leave.
Yeah, the last thing you want is him just kind of circling over your head and then popping out of nowhere, silencing everybody. Now that is something that Jackie is equipped to deal with though. He has completed that BKB, and slowly but surely in his own way, Jackie has been able to find his place in this game. On the backline, Peloson with the setup, Mikoto and the pullback as well. Ollie doesn't have his ultimate at 23. He's popped the Spirit Bear forward, but he's out of true form. Oh, beautiful Earth Spike from DJ, controlling the main hero, but here comes Armel to try and save the day. They've already lost the Spirit Bear, immediate resummon. They kill off the Lion, but that's the first life of the Lone Druid. What else do you have to find here? Jabs doesn't have, has the Dark Ascension and can be able to pop it. But Jackie, he's just feeling unstoppable right now. BKB full HP as Jabs is at least able to finish off Masaros, but Armel and him, they're kind of on opposite parts of the fight. I'm not very sure whether they can actually make a cohesive move onto Jackie. They'll try though. You know it's a 2v3 situation, jumping forward with the Athos, holding it in place as well, but this Morphling is so strong, has already started morphing the strength. Starting to turn things around onto Armel, pull back with the Harpoon and the Skewer, it's perfect. Jackie claims another, and slight overzealousness from the remaining Aurora members loses them their mid laner. As the dust settles, big win of that is the Morphling. They kill the Lone Druid and they get away with it too.
Jackie's gotten so much gold from these past 2 fights. Like, it is actually insane how much recovery Morphling's got. And Magnus as well. Big breadwinner from that fight too.
I think more than anything, it's just that Jackie now has properly cemented his place in the top after what was a struggle of an early game. I think struggle is putting it lightly. They were looking completely gobsmacked. Jabs was running all over them. It looked like Aurora was gearing up for a fast Roche, fast tier 2 tower take, but a little bit of a disconnect in that Aegis timing, and suddenly things have, much like many trains that we've seen today, derailed in a very, very big way. This, Jabs, I don't think he's quite as strong in these fights as he's used to anymore. Has the BKB blink, but not much else, and all he can really offer up is just maybe 1 or 2 support kills.
If only he had something that could like keep enemies in his silence. I don't know, like some sort of fishing tool that you use to catch something from Moby Dick almost.
Dire's top tower is under
You know what I'm going for? It's a harpoon. It's a harpoon.
I mean, we're at a point of the game where even though Peloson's scoreline is rough to look at, he has become quite a significant factor, right? Ever since completing that Aghanim, he's just able to TP, get the vision, and then immediately set up with that ultimate, rooting all of them in place and leaving them all worried about, okay, where is the initiation going to come from? Mikoto's been taking full advantage of that. And, I mean, slowly but surely crawling their way back in here. I wouldn't have thought it was possible, but they're making a good case for themselves here. Morphling is only getting stronger. Kanda, Nyx on the radar for him. That's going to be chunking these HP bars of Aurora. Smoke out. Straight up to the top side.
It's a pretty desperate smoke play, but you need to.
Yeah. Look, I don't know whether it's desperation. This just kind of feels like a stock standard one, right? Like, it's nighttime. Okay, it's not nighttime anymore, but you still have Dark Ascension. It seems like they know that Mikoto's in the area. Here they go, jab straight in. Any other control available? Mikoto, is he able to skewer his way out of this one? No. Tied to the trees and kill off Masaros. They still want to take this fight though, but this is the perfect place for the pinball to do its work. Rolling up, and the Ghost Scepter will buy Masaros some time. But Jackie, he can't come back into this surely. They're trying to mana drain and be a hassle on the Lion. Armel, he's found himself in a bit of a rough spot. Silenced up though. Jabs is there to back him up, and now DJ, even with that Ghost Scepter, will get worked down. Aurora, they answer right back with 4 kills, and Jackie has no choice but to run.
If you can't kill the Morphling, just kill the rest of his team, right? It's as simple and as complicated as that.
Yeah, just circle around him. I mean, there wasn't really an opportunity. So far, the few engagements that they were able to take successfully were when Peloson was setting up with vision that they had placed prior, using the ultimate and Mikoto landing killer skewers. But if you're starting the fight by fleeing on Mikoto, that is not going to be successful for you. And the weirdest thing about that entire situation for me is that he had a BKB, but he chose not to use it. Maybe he was trying to bait a little bit much, but it almost seemed like he didn't really respect the damage coming out from Aurora there.
Yeah, because it wasn't to the point where he was chain stunned at all, right?
Yeah.
Like, there was a very easy place for you to BKB there, and it just didn't happen. And, you know, there was a point where everyone was around that little cliff area, right, where Nature's Prophet is right now. And if you were just able to live long enough to get an RP in that area, that fight would have gone incredibly different.
Yeah, that's kind of the issue there. I mean, you could see why Aurora was so hell-bent on just working him down at whatever cost. They sent everybody there just to smack down the
Radiant
Magnus.
are scanning.
Both
Nice
these teams,
scan.
I mean, even though the sort of initial back and forth, I dare say this game is still
It says no.
could go either way. I don't think Aurora are as hard set to win this as they were before, as Jackie continues to just rise in relevance.
Jackie is very scary and is only going to get scarier with that Scotty timing too.
Scotty not really the item that it used to be, but still does the main function of cutting through these high HP heroes.
Yeah.
Tricky
All right,
situation.
Roshan, oh Roshan. Okay.
It's Trians, a lesser remembered factor of this nature's
Yes.
prophet will be able to give them quite a nice bit of vision. Masaros, you gotta be careful. I don't know whether you want to be standing up in this front line like that. Ollie's just gonna walk through. They have pretty long range initiation, though. Kind of submit Ollie up to the high ground. That's the ultimate already used, but they're working on Masaros on the sidelines. Go set the pop as well as Shivas. I don't think you're getting out of this one on the Death Prophet. They've already finished off the Lion as Jets continuing the chase down, Amel controlling everybody, and the whole time Masaros is bought for them, it's just wasted because Jabs, he continues to clean up. Pelosan's dead, Ollie's bought back, and now they're onto your Morphling. Jackie trying desperately to stand his ground. You still have the RP available, you've caught two, but where is the follow-up? I feel I've asked this so many times as Mikoto tries to skew away, but pulled back into the clutches of Aurora. And now Jackie getting hunted down. Jabs doesn't want to let him go. No mana. Another Gleipnir. Another set of disables holding the Morphling in place, and they'll seal the deal. Now Masaros did buy back and is trying to punch down 23 Savage, but the bear actually able to TP out, and Masaros desperately trying to clear this creep wave, desperately trying to alleviate some pressure right before he dies back, but there's nothing else that he can do. The whole team is there to tank all his silly little ghosts. Not to mention, they're doing 40% less damage, nothing but tickles there. Aurora will be able to not only wipe the team, get a couple of diebacks, but waltz into the Roche Pit and get their Aegis for themselves.
I mean, that fight was such an awkward engagement. Once again, Magnus, like, he's not having the impact you'd expect from a Magnus. Right? The RP connects on the Spirit Bear and the hero. Okay. But what else? Like, and that's the question you asked during the fight. So what? Like, what else? What else you got? It's just an RP. That doesn't do damage.
The main thing about the Magnus, I mean, they banned out some of the answers to it in terms of the instant response, but the problem with Magnus is it's always about vision, and when you submit Ollie up there as an offering, and you fall for the bait, you pull in the Abaddon, who's going to buy you at least, at the very minimum, 6 seconds of time. That is 6 seconds for Jabs to just press his ultimate, blink forward, and give his whole team full map hacks of everyone on the side of Bleed. From there, it's just so easy for Aurora to take the fight and dodge up key spells. It almost feels like Mikoto has an impossible job this game.
Which is weird to me why they didn't want to run this Magnus in the off lane. Because if you know you're going to have an awful Magnus game, you don't want it on your mid lane. Right? If you're going to sacrifice anyone, it can't be your mid lane.
Yeah, especially not mid laner like Mikoto. I mean, this guy has been the breadwinner of many a team, especially his previous roster. One of the shining stars for sure coming out of Southeast Asia. Arguably the best Dota player in Indonesia, I would dare say. And, I mean, to put him in this situation, it's a little bit rough to say the least. The Blink is right next to him in terms of net worth. Hasn't really had a great game for himself so far.
I think going into further series, we're not going to be seeing Q on the Hoodwink. Just because it's going to be... Right, like...
Yeah, the Hoodwink...
This is kind of crazy.
He's done so much work this game, and I think it's one of those heroes that we'll see as we get deeper and deeper into the qualifiers. Or, I mean, Ari already showed how potent it could be. A couple of other players picking it up here and there. Some more successful than others, but Q is looking phenomenal on it, showing that, you know, grinding in the pubs does pay off.
Yeah. Two new items for Aurora. Nothing that really changes the state of the game, but the Scotty's going to be tanking up that bear. Look how much HP, effective HP that bear has. The Solar Crest as well as that Scotty. 5,000 HP on the Spirit Bear.
Vlad's aura as well. He's just ripping these buildings apart. It's so easy. The Sprout doesn't even do anything to him. Got Solar Crest, got these. try and skewer him back, but beautiful Savage Roar just to stop Mikoto in his tracks. Now, you need to be worried about losing all the mana on your Spirit Bear because Savage Roar is such an important component as well as the Disperser.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
And the Harpoon to a lesser extent as well. You gotta be careful for sure.
Yeah. Let's see, do they have any way of restoring mana other than the Arcane Boots on the Footwing? Doesn't seem that way other than maybe Jab's Lotus. Yeah, that might be a little angle for the side of Bleed actually. If they're able to burn off all the mana on this Lone Druid and his bear, it'll be rendered quite effectiveness. I guess you could kind of say the same thing for a lot of these calls on Aurora, right? With Pango without mana, he's not really going to get anything done.
Yeah, and this is why Lion is so good, right? Just because the mana... How many times have we seen supports become meta just because one of their abilities is overpowered, right?
Yeah.
Lion, Grimstroke. Like, these are heroes that were defining the meta for such a long time just because of one of their abilities.
I mean, even to a lesser extent, like, not so much defining the meta, but being instant picks, right? Like, how strong was Sunray? How strong was Leech Seed levels 1 to 5, right?
Yeah.
It's just... But at this present juncture in time, it doesn't seem like it's enough because every single time the Lion shows his Idly Willy face, he just gets 3 hit by whoever decides to look at him. And now Mikoto's in some trouble. They don't have any save. He's forced to pop the BKB and you're already rolling the backline. There goes your Lion. DJ's dead. You have to buy back on him, but this is such an awkward position to try and take a fight. You still have Aegis on your Lone Druid and he's looking at your second lane of Rats.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
I hate to say it, Sneeze, but it looks like that 2-0 curse might be living on.
Yeah, we'll have to see. That's what our observer thought as well. Seeing the draft, this Lone Druid looking a bit too strong. Standing up face to face with Jackie, taking quite a bit of damage from that Kanda Adaptive Strike. But that's exactly what Ollie's there for, to help his buddy out. But even TP and just bring him back with the return. An easy refresh for them here.
Poking and prodding the best they can.
I mean, you can tell that Masaros is trying his best to tank up as much as humanly possible. Like, he, even with his neutral item choice, got that Rattle Cage, the new neutral item, just additional bit of armor, doing a bit of damage to whoever's attacking you as well, but it just really isn't enough. Just gets melted, it feels like. Every single one of the members of Bleed, other than Jackie, just such easy pickings for Aurora.
Is that the new Roshan banner spot? Am I crazy? Right in front of the tier 3 tower? The Dire tier 3 tower, there's a Roshan banner right in front of it.
Yeah, I mean...
Is that the position for it now?
I don't know whether it's the position, but it works out for them. It actually gives them pseudo megas in the mid lane where they're trying to get lane of X. Makes the most sense. I think you can get creative with it. Most people have just kind of been auto-defaulting to putting it outside of their racks, right? Because that's where the creeps spawn.
Yeah.
So you get the most effectiveness, whereas if you put it like closer to the front of the lane, there's a chance where they clear the creep waves, walk up to it, and just kill it off.
Very true. Alright, who's more greedy, Q or Polson?
I think Peloson, given his game, Peloson, right? Because you're having such a stellar one on the Hoodwink that getting these pseudo carry items isn't really a problem. To be fair, I don't think Peloson's doing anything necessarily wrong in terms of itemization as well. The AC is a much needed component to try and help him keep his team alive. Someone's got to get it.
Yeah, very true. Ollie, once again, not the target, right? This Abaddon, it's not it.
This person Abaddon's so scary because I know he's the support, but I got war flashbacks of that Abaddon just running at me at full speed.
Scary. It's a scary thing.
He's just gonna... Still gonna silence me, but in this particular game, he's gonna kill the shit out of 23. Toto does spot out the real Druid, but knows that Ollie's behind him. Can they find an angle? RP out. Can you get the shield off? Not in time. 23 looks to be in a load of trouble, and they even pop both BKBs and Exo for it. That's how much they're desperate for the kill, and it's a large chunk of change going the way of Jackie.
Well, this is another thing that I didn't mention about the Morphling Magnus. You get a big RP, a nice, good RP. All it takes is Morphling to waveform through it with all of that extra damage, right? The waveform attacks targets, level 20 talent, goes a long way.
Jabs in some trouble, able to fly out through the tree line, but they're looking for him here. Tries to blink the other direction. I mean, they have eyes on him. Can they catch him is the question. The stun, it's a good try from DJ, but Jabs, he's a bit too fast with those phase boots.
Thank you, 23.
Thank
Very
you.
cool of you.
Thank you, 23.
Thank you for the addition.
Synergy!
Very cool.
Okay, here we go. Once, I think once Lone Druid is back up again, we can just pair up and start to get things going here.
Radiant's courier has been killed.
Yeah,
Oh,
you
is
might as
he-
well, Roshan. We're gonna see the timer. Ready? Just about
Radiant
now.
are scanning.
2 minutes. Nice long Roshan timer.
Works out for Bleed, I feel like, you know, like...
I think so too.
Yeah, because Aurora, I mean, it's 2 minutes until nighttime, sure, and you can argue that, oh, by the time Roche comes up, they have natural nighttime, it's rough. But this kind of puts Aurora in a bit of a weird spot where they can't exactly rush anything down, they're just forced to play passive, and that's where the Magnus pickoffs and the Pelosan pickoffs can come into play. Now, it's worth mentioning that Pelosan's courier did go down, so that is the AC out of the picture for at least maybe 2 to 3 minutes, but, you know, once again, the longer Roche timing, gonna help them out there. Yep.
It also gives them timer for their BKBs to get off cooldown, which they obviously are now. So, it could potentially just be go time before the Roshan is up for bleed.
Okay, so I'm just wondering, for Aurora, the game plan is simple, right? They want to be able to encroach upon an area, have either Ollie or maybe 23 act as the front bait, and then as soon as stuff starts hitting the ceiling, you pop your ult on, Jabs, you get full vision, and you take the fight perfectly. Target prioritization is easier, you know exactly where everyone is and what they're trying to set up, and it's quite straightforward. On the flip side, Bleed, who do you think their primary target is? Like, do you... Because you can't really afford to go on the Abaddon first. You'd love to get Armel, but he's always out of vision. How do you take this fight?
You're hoping for 23, right? You're hoping to be able to RP 23 and just blow him up like you did last time.
Okay. I mean, yeah, he's a tough customer, especially if Ollie has his finger on the trigger, which has only really not been the case that one time in the mid lane, where I don't think the entire side of Aurora were expecting that aggressive move.
It's going to be about a 30-second window, like you mentioned,
Radiant
where
are
there's going to
scanning.
be no AC on the side of Prophet. Night Stalker has just finished his, so we're going to have a little bit of advantage going towards Aurora right now.
Big wraparound play, Pelosan setting up the vision as he usually does. They see Ollie and they see Jabs. That could be a great target. Hex out and the finger of death. Jabs is gonna go down. The RP, it catches all three. And Mikoto, just what he needed. But Ollie there with the ultimate, keeping 23 alive for now. But Jabs is already out of the picture. There is your big vision granter as Masaros chasing down the real Druid. Where is your support? They're all on the other side of the fight. He's gonna summon the bear back to him and start trying to lay into Jackie. Q is helping him out here with some bushwhacks, with the sharpshooter. You buy back on both Ollie and DJ. They understand how important it is in this fight to win. But now Armel in some trouble. Silent Start needs to get out of there. But caught by a skewer. Roll up fishes him out of that tricky situation, as well as this disperser for himself. The 23, he's been left behind a little bit here. His bear, it's a resummon, and if he doesn't manage to get this one out, the skewer, another beautiful one. Mikoto has just been landing these left and right this engagement. That, it's gonna be a dead hoodwink as well. Bleed, they're able to take a successful fight. Beautiful RP, and Mikoto finally able to do his job.
Yeah, it finally, after how many seriously, does it feel like we actually have a Magnus that's done something?
Yeah, I mean,
and
it's so...
is doing something.
Look, we already, like, it sounds like Flame, but it's so hard against the Night Stalker. So what do? You just instantly burst the Night Stalker, and suddenly they have no idea where you're coming from. All these little trees, you're getting slowed if you're standing too close to the tree line on the hoodwink because of the curse of the old growth. It's just so annoying. And without Night Stalker, a large component of what has been killing Masaros is out of the picture. He was just able to solo pressure up 23 Savage with his EXO alone. And now, Bleed, they're just heading into Roche themselves.
Aurora, this is a crazy play to make. There's no way you commit for this on Armel.
Oh, they're gonna try. Just bringing the hoodwink buyback as well, popping the ultimate on the Night Stalker. That sound is a scary one if you're Bleed. They're asking themselves too, surely they're not coming. Armel, he's just gonna wind up. I'm thinking the Rolling Thunder, trying to cut the creep wave. Try and set up vision there and be sneaky about it, but there are sentries in the area and they won't be able to get anything done. Here's the Aegis on the Morphling.
That was a crazy attempt without 23. That could have gone so horribly for Aurora.
Yeah. Magnus already doing an excellent job in that prior fight. Now has the refresher shard in his back pocket to do it twice. And 40% waveform cooldown. Jackie is going to be sliding all over this fight, doing so much damage to his opponents with those attacks.
I mean, he's already doing so much damage with that Empower. It's incredible.
Dude, look, Jackie's been playing phenomenally, but if they win this second game, I really have to give props to both DJ and I feel like Mikoto, right? Mikoto has what feels like the hardest job in the world, but he still managed to find ways to deliver, even if it's not consistent. He still he hits it when it matters, like just now in that fight, and that's kind of what it comes down to, right? Mikoto just needs to find this angle.
Yeah. And right now, that's Jab's job to make sure that...
Yeah. Jabs, it's been a bit of an ebb and flow, very typical Jabs type beat here. Nullifier for him as well, so he can eliminate some of these Ghost Scepter havers on the side of Bleed. Coming through, but vision control in the triangle is being held by Bleed right now. If the smoke breaks in this area, they'll be the first ones to know it. Jabs running into Jackie, immediately popping the ultimate. They try and finish him off on the sidelines, but it's a beautiful hoodwink bushwhack, holding on to the line, and he's out of the picture. Now Masaros will start coming through and running down the poor Spirit Bear. They're focusing it down, but the Abyssal Blade and the poor Morphling loses his first life. Where is Mikoto? We need to watch for the RP. They're all grouped up right now. But you can bet your bottom dollar Aurora are thinking about that in the back of their mind. But Mikoto, nowhere to be found in this engagement. Finally coming through with the skewer, but Amel has the roll-up and a bit too late on the Magnus. Now Jackie in some trouble as well. 23 just holding him down, and the poor Morphling doesn't stand a chance. They're trying to escape here on Mikoto. You have that gem. There's no sentries in the area, you know that. But the second this expires, Jabs smells him. Finds him as well. Desperately trying to skewer away. You have a TP, but where are you gonna go, buddy? There's an RP available, but he's silenced up and brought down to the grave. Jabs, he just has such a good nose for these things.
He does, doesn't he? Which is weird because like Night Stalker, I feel like he doesn't really. Does he have a nose? Does Night Stalker have a nose?
Honestly, I hope not. But back to that particular fight. It was the similar situation where they were trying to focus on Jabs, but this time round Jabs was right over that tree line and they just weren't able to connect and kill him. As long as this Night Stalker lives, it feels like Bleed don't have a chance in these fights.
Yeah. And Mikoto was just way too far, right? He was farming the mid lane by the time that, like, when that fight started, he was mid. He had to walk all the way there. It was just such a long walk for Mikoto that he was not able to be there in time. And like you said, there was a very good opening where they were all grouped up together, but no Mikoto, no RP.
Yeah, I almost felt a bit half-hearted because some of the members of Bleed walked up into that triangle. I don't even know if they were necessarily looking for a fight or they were just to pick off. And now you've lost your racks, you might just be forced to buy back on the Morphling here. Mega creeps already. This feels like the last stand for Bleed. One game away from dropping to the lower bracket. You forced out the buyback from the Morphling and he's starting to punch into Amel. Waveforming forward and facing off against 23. You have enough control against the Spirit Bear. Your Ancient is falling. The BKB'd up and they're working him down, but 23 is just waiting patiently for the resummon. Not even needed. Aurora will smack Bleed out of the upper bracket as they move on here in the DreamLeague close qualifiers.
You know, things were looking